Hello everyone, just a slight disclaimer before watching this video is based on the events of the first and second episodes of the Murder Drone series, and a handful of tweets, so most of this is just pure speculation, so take this video with a grain of salt. Also be aware there might be some decrease in video quality and some bugs with this video as I am using new software. So yeah. This video is a bit late on the topic of episode 3 because just a week ago, Murder Drones episode 3 was announced to be released on February 17th, which is just a week away. Anyways, using the new and old information, I have built a few predictions of what episode 3 might have in store for us. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start off with what we know from episode 2. Episode 2 leads us off with Uzi being terrified of what she just witnessed via Eldritch J. So she returns to the colony, leaving her relationship with N in a rough patch. We also see her trying to piece together what the Absolute Solver is and what probably started her infection. Doll is revealed to also be infected with the Absolute Solver, and if she's friend or foe is yet to be determined. To round it up, we know that the third episode is going to be the prom episode. At first, I thought episode 3 would be about the shindig Thad mentions in episode 2.
Super invited to my shindig next weekend. Cool kids only.
But after just doing some digging online, it turns out that a shindig is close to, if not the same exact thing, as a prom. Both are social gatherings in which people celebrate something, usually by dancing. A prom and shindig are also both technically a party. So, with this information, we can say that when Thad refers to his shindig, it might be referring to him and his group of friends who are going to hang out during prom. With this assumption, we can say the events of episode 3 take place a week after episode 2. So hey, now we have a bit of a timeline going on. Now let's see some old info. There were many, and I mean many scenes from the season 1 trailer that was untouched or scrapped. Though the prom episode was teased within it, these untouched scenes or lines will most likely be used in the third episode. Let's start off with this line we hear from N.
Can't interact with the workers anymore, V. We're too dangerous.
This line matches up perfectly with episode 3, especially since N is contemplating how dangerous he is. V's line,
promise me you and that purple thing will stop prying into that stuff,
could be referring to how Uzi and N shouldn't be exploring the Absolute Solver infection. This line could also be paired up with this line from V as well.
Better to stay distant though, don't you think?
This could be V warning or trying to scare N to no longer hang out with Uzi anymore. And finally,
I don't know what you're talking about because you won't tell me! What are you so afraid of?
This might be N finally snapping at Uzi for either being afraid, avoiding him, etc. With these unused lines covered, let's go to a few screenshots.
The first screenshot I want to show is this one. I believe this is either where the fourth member is hiding, or this is a part of a flashback. I won't get into this screenshot in particular because this is most definitely a flashback. The two screenshots that stand out to me are these two. Both of them are in some residential area, or possibly the prom room, as we see a basketball hoop and a kitchen. Both show bloody murder, though who might have actually been responsible for this will be mentioned later in the video. Though to analyze both pictures, we can say that this is fairly recent, and as we see with this image, this person is good with knives, but we'll get into that a bit later. For this image, we see a basketball hoop with a decapitated, oily head stuck in it, and also two corpses hanging from a chain. Both images have an eerie red color tinted on them, something we don't see that often. In fact, the only time we see this red tint is when Khan is reminiscing about the past. This info does bring me to two possible conclusions, Doll and V. Doll is a bit of a mixed bag as of this moment. We don't really know whose side she's on, as she shows that she does care about her friends and others, but also seemingly is infected. And by the way she's able to control her powers implies that she has powers for a while now. and might actually be on the verge of going murder drone. Now V is another candidate, but something seems off. It is confirmed that she will be attending prom based on some tweets Glitch made, but what I find weird is this mysterious knife thrower.
Done dealing with everything alone.
While we can absolutely conclude that V is throwing knives, it's definitely not her style. Anytime we see her attacking, she is up on her victim's grill, going in with several close encounter weapons, and she's a lot more handsy than J or N. I also like to mention that in all these tweets Glitch has made, none of them show V in kill mode. In other words, I believe Doll will be the big bad of episode 3. This can be furthered up by this tweet in particular, and the reason why has to do with who's in this image. Specifically, Lizzie is on stage, and wherever Lizzie has been, so has Doll. These are my thoughts on what might happen based on the provided evidence, though there is still one more scene we have to talk about. It appears as though Uzi is curious to see how oil tastes, and honestly, I can interpret it as Uzi is about to taste it before N or somebody else kinda catches her doing this. But with that, we finally end this video. I would do some shoutouts, but those will be saved for my 500 subscriber special I'm going to be making this week as well, because episode 3 might interrupt it. So stay tuned for that, but with all said and done, I hope you enjoyed this video and have a wonderful weekend.